See, this tuple also similar to lists only. Okay, these are also used to store the like group of elements. All these elements are different types. Okay, coming to array, you can store only similar type, right? But here in sequence data type, you can store like different type of data. Any type you can store within a single sequence. Okay. Here tuple also used to store the group of elements, but small difference compared to the list. Okay, these tuples are like immutable. Okay, immutable means you cannot, once you declare any tuple, you cannot change the values in a tuple. Okay, not only changing, you cannot update the, so these operations you cannot perform on tuples. Like you cannot append some elements to tuple. Okay, you cannot insert, you cannot remove from that tuple, you cannot pop also use to remove it, or you cannot clear that tuple. Okay, these operations you cannot perform on these tuples. Then where we will use these tuples? Typically, like these are used to store the data which should not be modified and retrieve that data on demand. Means that suppose in some situation you have declared some data. Okay, you have declared one list or tuple. Okay, suppose I have a tuple that consists some data. Okay, I have saved some weekdays in that tuple. Some from Monday to Sunday I have stored within that tuple. But someone has to change Monday to some other day. It is not possible because that is fixed, right? In that situation, okay, from Monday to like Sunday. These are the weekdays. Okay, those weekdays are similar for every week, right? You cannot modify those values. In that case, in that situation, you can directly go with this tuple. Okay, uh, if you declare that your required data is tuple, that you cannot modify or you cannot delete. Okay, you cannot update that data. In that situation, you can directly go with this tuples concept. Okay, then how you can create these tuples? Okay, similar to list, we can create these tuples by using these parentheses. Okay, if you just write your objects, okay, write your data within this parenthesis. Okay, that will create it internally, it will create it as a tuple. Okay, how you declared that list? By using square brackets, right? For example, if it is list L1 equals to, you have assigned some like some data, some element you have assigned to this L1. How you can, suppose if it is some integer value, okay, you can assign some name, means it is some string also you can assign. Okay, different type of data you can store within this. Okay, see, if you are writing within the square bracket means internally it will treat it as a list, because Python is a dynamically typed language, right? You don't need to mention any type here. Okay, internally it will treat it as a list. But how you can know this is internally it is treating as a list? Just use this type operator. Okay, just pass that parameter here. Okay, simply you can say know that it is a list. In the same way, you can create tuples. Suppose tuple variable, tuple equals to, I'm going to like store some data within that tuple. Okay, to create tuple we have the parenthesis. So within the parenthesis whatever the elements you have you are writing, like those elements are going to store within that tuple. You can store any type of data. Okay, like this. Okay, internally it will treat it as a tuple. Okay, this is the way you can create one tuple variable. Okay, within the parenthesis whatever the elements you are writing, those elements are internally treated as a tuple elements. Okay, see, if you know the type of this tup variable, tup. Okay, see how you can just simply use this type operator. Okay, you can say this is one tuple. Okay, internally we are not like mentioning here, right? Internally it is taking it as a tuple. Okay, if you are mentioning parenthesis, so that it will take it as a tuple. Okay, like see, I'm taking one t1. Okay, t1 equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. Some objects I'm giving. Okay, some elements. Okay, see, all the elements are going to store within this t1. Okay, then how internally it will treat it? It is one type. Which type it will take? Let's see. Where what is the type of this t1? Okay, see, this t1 also tuple here. Okay, this is the second way without any parenthesis. You can directly assigning some values. By default, you will treat it as one tuple. Okay, see, without giving any parenthesis or square brackets, directly if you are assigning some values to one variable, internally it will treat as a one tuple. Okay, suppose some t2 equals to 10 I am giving. Now it will take it as a tuple or some integer value. That is the point. Okay, let's see. Suppose I'm going to check this t2 type. Okay, see, now it is taking int. If you are assigning only one value, it is taking it as int. You are using some different values. See, if you want to take the single value as a tuple, you simply use one comma here. I need to read this value as a tuple. Just use this one single comma after the value. Now it will take it as a tuple now. Now see, just observe the difference. If I assign the values or like this, t2 equals 10 means it is internally considering it as an integer type data. If I use some one comma here, then it will treat it as a tuple object. Okay, it is one tuple object which is stored in this t2. Okay, this is the way you can create tuples. Okay, the same way if you require one empty tuple. Okay, we have created one empty list, right? The same way you can create one empty tuple by using just some, suppose like tm. I'm taking here one tuple name tm equals to, I'm going to use two parentheses here without any objects, two parentheses. This will become one empty tuple. Okay, if I see, sorry, like I will assign, yes, or just if you want to check this type of this tm, now you can see tuple. If you print this like tm, if you see, you can see only empty tuple. This is the empty tuple you can create, or just assign two parentheses to one tuple variable. Okay, this will create one empty tuple. Okay, in the second way you can create empty tuple by using like tuple some tn. I will take here tn equals to, you have the tuple constructor tuple. This is the constructor. By using this constructor also you can create empty tuple. Okay, if you see here, tn also create one empty tuple. If you print this like tn, you can see one empty tuple. Okay, how you can create empty tuple? Just assign two parentheses. Okay, it will create one empty tuple. Okay, or else by using tuple constructor you can create empty tuple. Okay, how you can create one single tuple? By using two parentheses. Okay, like this, any objects you can assign here, you can include here. This is the one way. Okay, then this is the way you can create tuples. Okay, then how you can retrieve the elements from the tuple? Okay, suppose if you have an array having some elements. Okay, you are creating one array, you are initializing some values into that array, and whenever you require you can retrieve the elements from array, right? the same way here also, if you require those elements, if you want to use those elements in your program, you can retrieve from your tuple object. Okay, then how you can, by using like index value. Okay, see, this is the way to create tuples. Okay, like then you need to access those elements, right? By using index position you can access those elements. Okay, suppose this is the tuple having these elements. Okay, if you require the zeroth position, actually elements are going to store in the form of index. Okay, index starts from 0 only. Okay, if you want the zeroth position element, you can directly use tuple of 0. See here, consider this tuple, or else you can say I'm going to give t1 equals to this one. Okay, this is my tuple t1. Okay, I need this element, means it is stored at index position 0, right? Okay, just t1 of 0. I'm just accessing elements from this tuple. Okay, 12 it is written. Okay, suppose like I need from 2 to 2 means third elements it will return, right? Third to 2 to 3. Okay, see, it is written only 30. 30 means index position 2 value. Okay, I said that while discussing about list, if you mention any number here, this minus 1 means 2 only. Okay, suppose I need from starting to index position 2. Here it will return 12, 20, 30. 12, 20, 30 it will return. Instead, you can take index position starts from 1, 1 to remaining. 1 to remaining means like 20, 30, but string also printed in the output. You can see 20, 30, and the output, string output. Okay, this is the slicing operator, right? By using slicing operator also, you can retrieve elements from the tuple. Okay, this is the way you can retrieve the elements. Okay, here also just like strings and list, you can use negative index also. Okay, by using negative index also you can retrieve the elements. Okay, negative index starts from -1, right? This is the -1, or like okay, this one is the -1, -2, like this is the negative indexing. This is positive indexing, this is the negative indexing. If you take -1 means last element will be returned. Okay, like that you can go with the negative index also. Okay, see, then like I said, right, these tuples are immutable. Immutable means you cannot like update the value, and you cannot change some values in a tuple, or you cannot delete any value from the tuple, because these are the immutable. Just like strings also immutable. Okay, in strings, while discussing about strings also, if you have one string means you cannot like insert some characters within that string, right? Okay, in the same way, this tuple also, like tuple, once you declare any tuple, okay, those tuple values you cannot delete, or you cannot update. Okay, you cannot change those values. Okay, because these are the immutable in nature. Okay, see, if I try to change the value, what happens? Okay, see, this is the t1, right? Just see what are the elements that t1 has. See, I'm trying to change some values. Okay, how you can like change the value? Suppose I'm going to change index position 1 to I'm just updating the value to uh, 20 is there already. Instead of 20, I'm storing 50. Okay, see what happens. Now you can see type error is there. Okay, see how what happens. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, because you cannot update the values of tuple. Okay, because it is immutable in nature. You cannot update, or you cannot change, or you cannot delete the elements from this tuple. Okay, Santosh, can you mute yourself? Okay, see, if you are trying to delete some elements also, it will raise the error. Okay, see, tuple object does not support item deletion. Okay, if you are trying to delete one element from that tuple, it won't support. Okay, because these are the immutable. Okay, see, these are the method that we can perform on tuples. Okay, see, suppose one tuple t1 is there. If I want to find the length of that tuple, means how many elements that are present within that tuple, you can go with this length function. These are the built-in function that can, or you can directly use in your like programming. Okay, it is used to find the length of the tuple. Okay, you can concatenate two tuples. Okay, tuple 1 is, tuple 2 is there. You can just concatenate. Concatenation means just combining these two tuples. Okay, see, t1 having some 5 elements. For example, I require 2 times the same elements. That you can do by using this star n. Okay, repetition symbol, this one, repetition like operator, repetition of tuple values in a number of times that you can mention here. Suppose 5 elements into 2 means 10 will be printed. 3 times means 3, you need to mention 3 here. Okay, then you can go with this like a membership operator. Okay, suppose I want to find one element within the tuple. Okay, suppose like 5 elements is there. Within that 5 elements, I want to find one number, whether that number is present within that tuple or not. That you can use like some 5 into that will return. If it is fine, it will return 2. If that element is not found, it will return false. Okay, you can compare. You can compare two tuples. Okay, so when we just like a string comparison here, like tuple 1 and tuple 2 both are compared. Okay, if tuple 1 value is greater than tuple 2, it will return like positive integer. Both are same, it will return 0. If it is less than tuple 2, it will return negative value. Okay, the same way you can find this maximum of that tuple number. Okay, if you want to find the maximum number in that tuple, you can go with max function, min function. Okay, you can convert one list into tuple also. Okay, you have already one list. Santosh, who is this? 5 541. See, you have one list, but the same elements I required in the form of tuple. Okay, simply use this type operator. Okay, tuple of list means it will directly give you that list into tuple. Okay, then you can count the number of see, if I use one tuple dot count of one element means how many times that element is present within the tuple. Okay, because this tuple will allow duplicate values. Means suppose already one element 20 is there, you can have 20 one more time within the tuple also. Okay, duplicate value you can like it is allowed. Okay, but this count function will return how many times that the element is appeared within the tuple. Okay, count will be, it will return one integer value. The same way index value. Index means one element is there, okay, x, where that x is stored, that index position it will return. Suppose the same element like having two times, okay, at that time the first occurrence will be it will return, okay. If that is not available, it will raise one error, okay. Then sorted function. Sorted means some elements are there within that tuple, it will sort according to like ascending order, okay. If you want to like descending order, just use next parameter as reverse equals to true, means it will return like reverse order, okay. See, let's see these functions we will try once in program, okay. Later I will take one more. Consider one t1 tuple, like I'll go with some 2 and 10, 20, it is allowing duplicate values also, right? I will give some duplicate values as well, okay. If you see this t1 consists these values, okay. See, I want to find how many the occurrence count of this 20, how many times it is appear, okay. We have count function, right? Suppose if you don't know what are the functions that are available that suppose this tuple, just give the t1, that is tuple, right? T1 dot give control space, okay. Control space means these two it will allow count, you can count number of how many numbers it will allow, you can go with index value. But like other functions are not supported, right? Like remove function, pop function, update function. So because this tuple is immutable, you cannot perform those with this like tuple, okay. See, like count, I want to count this 20, how many times it is occurred. You can see here two times, okay. See, 20 one time, one more time, count it, it will return. Suppose I want to find index value of this 10, okay. See, index value of that 10, see how it will return, okay. It is returning 1 because you have 1 at 10 at index position 1, okay. You have one more 10 at index position, some other index position, but it is returning only 1, means the first occurrence only it will return. Suppose uh, I'm going with 11, okay. This element is not available in this time, it will raise one error, okay, because x not in tuple, okay. You can go with the membership operator. Suppose like 12 in t1, 12 in t1 means if the element is available within the t1, then it will return true, or else it will return false, okay. These are the operations that you can perform on this tuple. Okay, let's see, we'll go with the like item updation, okay. Suppose t1 of 0 equals to, I'm going to give some name, okay. Is it possible here? I'm going to update this t1 of 0. Can anyone? Is it possible here now?
Not possible, sir.
Not possible because this tuple is immutable,
Is
okay.
immutable.
Immutable nature type, that's why it is not allowed to update any value within this tuple, okay. You can see tuple does not support item assembly, okay. Like that you can perform the some operations on this tuple, okay. Then nested tuples, similar to nested list, okay. You can write one tuple in another tuple, okay. There you can see students is one tuple, within the students, okay, you have one more tuple. If you see like Ravi, CSC, some decimal value, okay. This is one tuple, okay. See, I have one more tuple, some other student, okay. This is the one more tuple. All these three tuples are present in one tuple, okay. Within this tuple, students tuple, you have some other tuples, okay. This is called a nested tuples, okay. You can write like this, okay. See, uh, If you want to retrieve all the elements from the tuple, you can just directly go with this for loop. Okay, if you remember this for loop syntax, or just see the for loop syntax is for variable. You can take any variable here. Variable, okay. Sequence you need to take in from where you need to iterate the loop. Here you can take any sequence. You can take list, okay. You can take tuple, set, range, any sequence you can take here, okay. Suppose here already I have sequence students. That students S1 I am considering saying, okay, S1. Then I want to repeat all the elements, okay. Just print that var here, variable here, okay. It will get the all the elements from the tuple, okay. Which is similar to for each loop in Java. That is near to that one only. For each element from that, for example, we have collections are there in Java, okay. We want to retrieve all the elements from that collection, we will go with the for each loop, right? In the same way, if you want to retrieve all the elements from this like any sequence, you can directly go with this for loop. It will return all the elements from that sequence, okay. See, if you see the output of this file, okay, if you use this for loop like this, you will directly return the like tuple objects like this, okay. Here it will consider each object is one element, okay. This tuple is one element in this student's tuple. This element is considered one element within this student's tuple, like that, okay. Yeah, this is about the tuples, okay. See, we'll see this nested tuple once here, okay. Suppose student S1 is my outer tuple, consider, okay. Within this I have tuples like we'll go with the numbers only, okay. 10, 20, okay, 30. This is one tuple. Inside that tuple, okay, have one more tuple like 40, 50, 60, okay. This is the second tuple, okay. Then next third tuple, here I am going with some strings, okay, or any strings you can take, okay. Two objects are there, okay. You need to close this one also, right? The total thing present within this S1 now, okay. Nested tuple I am using. Within this S1 I have three tuples. First tuple is numbers, second tuple also numbers, and this third tuple and strings, okay. Now print this S1, okay. You can see this is one tuple, okay. If you want to retrieve elements from this tuple, okay, you can go with the index value, or else if you want to all the elements from this tuple, you can just go with the for loop for I in S1. S1 is my sequence, right? Sequence means one tuple, okay. Just print I here, okay. Now you can see this means I'm going to retrieve all the elements from this tuple, okay. For each I in S1, getting that I. So now you can see elements are going to retrieve like this, okay. Suppose instead of for loop, you can go with the index value also, okay. S1 of 2. S1 of 2 means what it will return? Can anyone?
Strings, sir.
S1 of 2.
Satish and Naveen, sir.
The both entire tuple is going to print, right? See, this is one tuple, okay. This entire tuple is inside tuple is there, right? This tuple is going to print here, okay. See, I required only this element. Then how you can In list case, we have retrieved like that, nested list. See, S2, sorry, S1 of 2, then within this list, sorry, tuple, you have this position is 0, right? This is the 0 and this is the 1. So entire case, this entire thing is 0, this is 1 and this is 2. But inside, this is the nested tuple, right? Within this tuple, you have this is the 0 position, this is the 1 position. If I require only this one, you can just go with the 2 with like one more index value is 0. Now it will return the first element, 0th position element here. Like this, you can retrieve the elements from this like inner tuple. Okay, how you can get just similar to like two-dimensional array. Okay, similar to two-dimensional array. Okay, 0 0 position, 0 1 positions. Like that, we have arrays concept. Right? The same way in nested tuple or nested list case also, you can retrieve the elements like this. Okay. This is about tuples concept. Okay, then you have set is there here. Okay, see small difference between from one sequence to other sequence. Here set is similar to like list only, but it won't allow duplicate values. It won't allow duplicate values. Means in mathematics also, if you take any set, that set consists only like unique values, right? If is there any duplicate value, it won't take that duplicate value. It will directly give that only like exact values. It won't give the duplicate value. Just it will remove that duplicate value. Okay. See, set is another data structure supported by Python. Basically, sets are same as list, but with a difference that sets are list with no duplicate entries. Okay, it won't suppose duplicate values. Okay, technically a set is a like mutable. Mutable means it can like you can do all the operations like whatever updations. Okay, see like mutable and an unordered collection of items. Okay, this is the point you need to remember. Okay, similar to sets only, no duplicates are. This is the one point. Okay, this is the unordered collection of items. Okay, if you assign one tuple, we are going to retrieve the elements by using index position, right? Index position starts from 0. For example, if you require 0th position element, you can get the 0th position element. But here the sets are not supported with this indexing operation. Okay, because these are unordered collection of items. Unordered means by using index value, you cannot access the elements. Okay, if it is unordered means you cannot update the values, right? You cannot update. How you can update? For example, if you know index value, then only you can update the value. But you are saying that these are the unordered, but means that it won't support this index position. Then we cannot update the value. This means that we can easily not this one. You have functions like that, but you cannot update the value. You can add one element by using add function. You have the remove function. By using these, you can remove and add, but you cannot update the value. Okay, already some index position 1 is there. Okay, that element you cannot update. Okay, see, then how you can add and remove, because these are the mutable case. Okay, just remember, it won't allow duplicate values. One point, these are the mutable. Mutable means you can add and remove elements. Okay, but these are the unordered. It won't support. It won't. The elements are not inserted in the form of index values. Okay, uh, because of this unordered thing, you cannot access by using index position. You cannot update by using index position. Okay? That you need to remember. Then how you can create this set similar to like other elements, but here you will use this like flower brackets. Okay, braces. These braces you need to use. Okay, see, just observe here. Some S1 I am taking. S1 equals to, you can create one set. Okay, you can create one set by using these curly braces. Okay, some 20, some 12, okay, 11, 20, 30. Okay, I said duplicate values are not allowed, right? Suppose I will take 12 here, 12 and 11. So what happens? Let's see. This is one set. This is the way you can create one set. Okay. If I print this S1, you can see now the values which are present within this set. 20 is there, 11 is there, 12 is there, 30 is there. Only 4 elements it consists. But you have entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? But you have only 4 because some duplicate values are there within this assignment. But duplicate values are not supported in set. Okay, only it will take the like unique values. Okay, if you observe, you have entered the elements 12, 11, 20, 30, right? If you see here, 20 printed first, 11 printed second, 12, 30. Is there any order here? No order, right? Because it won't follow this index position value. These are the unordered collection of objects. Okay, suppose some S1 of 0. I'm going to access element from 0th position. If you see, this will support here. See, I'm trying to access one element from this set with the index value 0. Okay, what it will return? Can anyone guess? Are you there?
So we can't access the item.
Yes. We cannot access the value because indexing is not supported by the sets. Okay, if I try to access, you can see the error. Okay, the type error is, you can see here, set object does not support indexing. Okay, this is the error. Okay, because these are the unordered elements. Okay, unordered means you cannot get the values from this. If it is ordered, you can, all the elements are stored in the form of index value 0, 1, 2 like that. But these are not unordered. Okay, suppose if I print this S1 the second time, you can see some other order also, but here it not shown. Sometimes it will you can see elements some 11, some 30 like that. Okay, because all these elements are unordered elements. Okay, that's why it is not supporting index value. Okay, see what are the operations we can see uh, by with this set. Okay, this is the creation. Okay, or like then accessing. How you can access? You cannot access by using index value, but you can access all the elements from that set by using for loop. Let's try for I in that S1. Okay, I'm going to print I. Okay, see, by using for loop you can retrieve all the elements, but individual elements it is not possible. Okay, because these are the unordered collection of objects. Okay, so you can convert one list to set. Okay, suppose we have one list. Okay, I want to convert that list to set. So what is the use? If it is a set, there is no duplicate values, right? Okay, in my requirement, I don't want duplicate values, but I have already some data is there, one list is there, within that some duplicate values are there. Okay, in that case, directly you can convert like that list into set. How you can see, this is the set. Okay, if you print that as it will print the same thing in the output. Suppose, see, here L1 is there. This is the list, I think, 10, 20, 30, or like 50. It will support duplicate values, right? Okay, I have entered some duplicate values. If I print L1 here, you can see it is supporting duplicate values and it is printing. I want to convert this L1 into one set. So I'm going to take S2 here. Okay, then use this set is a function. Okay, simply pass that in this, pass that L1 as a parameter. Okay, now you can see it is S2. You can see the set consists 10, 20, 50. Okay. In this way, you can convert the list into set. Okay, this list consists some duplicate values, but my requirement is I don't want those like duplicate values. Only like unique values are required. Simply just use the set function, set that L1. It will return that set. Okay, I think time is up. I think so. We'll continue. Some functions are there. These will continue in the next class. Okay, we'll do some operations with this set. Some union operation, intersection, okay, or like superset, subset. Those we will see in the next class. Ramya is there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Just take one screenshot and share to
Yes, sir.
attendance as well.
Okay, sir.
That's all for today. We'll meet in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.